Good morning. We are going to discuss about today research design in research methodology. In this video, we are going to discuss about meaning of research design, important terms of research design, and types of research design. And simply, research methodology is nothing but research may be very broadly defined as systematic gathering of data and information and its analysis for advancement of knowledge in any subject. Research attempts to find answer intellectual and practical questions through application of systematic methods. And research design refers to overall strategy utilized to carry out research that defines a logical plan to tackle established research questions through collection, interpretation, analysis, and discussion of data. And the research design is the conceptual structure within which the research is conducted. It constitutes the blueprint for the collection, measurement, and analysis of data. Research design, the challenging problem that follow back the task of defining in the research problem is the preparation of a design of a research project, popularly known as a research design. A research design is the arrangement of conditions for the overall project. As such design includes an outline of what the researcher will do from writing a hypothesis and its operational implications to the final analysis of data. It's simply known as blueprint of the project. And more explicitly, the designing decisions happen to be in respect of answering these all questions. The first one is, what is the study about? Why is the study being made? Where will the study be carried out? What type of data is required? Where can the required data be found? What periods of time will the study include? What will be the sample design? And what techniques of data collection will be used? How will the data be analyzed? By answering all these questions, the research design must be a good one. And next one, need for a research design. A research design is much needed one because it facilitates smooth sailing of the various research operations, thereby making research as efficient as possible, yielding maximal information with a minimal expenditure of effort, time, and money. Research design has a significant impact on the reliability of the results obtained. And next, features of good research design. A research design appropriate for a particular research problem, usually involving considering the following factors. The first one is the means of obtaining information, the availability and skills of the researcher, the objective of the problem to be studied, the nature of the problem to be studied, and the availability of time and money for the research work. And generally, a good research design is often characterized by adjectives like flexible, appropriate, efficient, and economical. Generally, the design minimizes the bias, maximizes the reliability of the data. The design which gives the smallest experimental error is supposed to be the best design in many investigations. And the next one, important concepts of research design. The first one is dependent and independent variable. If one variable is dependent on another variable, it is termed as a dependent variable. The variable that is antecedent to the variable is an independent variable. For example, height is depending on age. Here, height is a dependent variable and age is an independent variable. The next one, extraneous variables. The independent variable are not related to the purpose of the study but may affect on the dependent variables are termed as the extraneous variable. For example, suppose a researcher want to test the hypothesis that there is a relationship between children gains in school studies and their self-concept. In this case, self-concept is taken as independent variable and school studies is a dependent variable. Intelligence may as well affect the social school studies, but it is not related to the study undertaken by the researcher, so it is the extraneous variables. The next one, control. One important characteristic of good research is to minimize the influence or effect of an extraneous variable. The technical term is used when we design the study, minimizing the effect of extraneous independent variable. And the next one is confounded relationship. when the dependent variable is not free from the influence of extraneous variable. The relationship between the dependent and independent variables is said to be a confounded by an extraneous variable. Next one, research hypothesis. In every research, the hypothesis is a starting point of the research. And generally, it is termed as assumption or a starting point of a research. When a prediction or a hypothesized relationship is to be tested by scientific methods, it is termed as a research hypothesis. The research hypothesis is a predictive statement that relates an independent variable to dependent variable. For example, drinking sugary drinks daily leads to obesity. And the next one, experimental and non-experimental hypothesis testing. Research in which the independent variable is manipulated is termed as experimental hypothesis testing research. Research in which the independent variable is not manipulated is termed as non-experimental hypothesis testing research. And the next one is experimental and control groups. When a group is exposed to usual conditions, it is termed as a control group. When the group is exposed to be the some special condition, it is termed as experimental group. And the next one is treatment. The different conditions under which experimental and control groups are put up usually referred to as treatment. If we want to determine through an experiment the comparative impact of three varieties of fertilizers and yield of wheat, in that case the three varieties of fertilizers will be treated as three treatments. And the next one, experiment. The process of examining the truth of statistical hypothesis relating to some research problem is known as an experiment. The experiment may be an absolute experiment and comparative experiment. For example, we can conduct an experiment to examine the usefulness of a certain newly developed drug. Next one. And the next one is types of research design. The first research design is exploratory research design. It is nothing but is the process of investigating a problem that has not been studied or thoroughly investigated in the past. Exploratory type of research is usually conducted to have a better understanding of the existing problem, but usually does not lead to a conclusive result. It is used to investigate a problem which is not clearly defined. It is conducted to have better understanding of the existing problem, but will not provide the conclusive results. It serves as a tool of initial research that provides a view. For such a research, a researcher starts with a general idea and uses his research as a medium to identify the issues that can be focused for further research. The next one is descriptive and diagnostic research. Descriptive research aims to accurately and systematically describe a population or a phenomenon. It can be used as a wide variety of research method to investigate one or more variables. Unlike in experimental research, the researcher does not control or manipulate any of the variables but only observes them, measures them. It can answer a what, where, a when and how questions but not why questions. A descriptive research design can use a wide variety of research method to investigate variables. Whereas diagnostic research design that aims to examine the underlying cause of a certain situation or a phenomenon. It can help the researcher to find out more about the factors that lead to a specific challenges. Whereas diagnostic research studies determine the frequency with which something occurs or its association with something else. The study is concerning whether certain variables are associated are examples of diagnostic research studies. As against this, the study concerned with specific predictions with narration of facts, characteristics concerning individual group or situation of all examples of research studies. And the next one, experimental research design. Experimental design refers to the framework or a structure of an experimental, and as such there are several experimental design. The first one is informal experimental. Informal experimental designs are those designs that normally use a less sophisticated form of analysis based on difference in magnitudes. Experimental research is conducted with a specific scientific approach using two sets of variables. The first set acts as a constant, which researcher used to measure the differences of the second set. Experimental research design broadly classified into two types. The first one is formal experimental and the second one is informal experimental. Any research conducted under scientifically acceptable conditions uses experimental method. The research should establish notable cause and effect. The next one is formal experimental design. Formal experimental designs offer relatively more control and uses precise statistical procedures for analysis. And thank you.